Another nice old picture. I'll sit up here. And there's water there for you, okay?
Thank you.
Want that one, Brad?
Yeah.
You want to sit in the middle?
No, I like this right here. Thank you.
Okay, good picture, didn't it?
Looks very good. Very good. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Give me a drink.
You bet, there's water there.
You guys want one of these?
You know, that'd be nice. Thank you.
Different kind.
Thanks.
Vanessa, you want a drink?
Vanessa.
Drink. Taylor? Jamie. What dog? Jamie, you want a drink?
No, I'm good.
Cindy, did you want a drink?
That's okay, because he offered it.
Yeah, so he was like,
He could bring it in. You
I did.
That was water the plant.
It's used water, right? Love you, want a drink? Who's the other one
Justice, sir.
Is it?
This one. Your sister said that was
I wanted you for life, you and me in the wind. I never thought there'd come a time that our story would end. It's hard to understand, but I guess I'll have to try. It's not easy to say goodbye. For all the joy we shared, I had one wish, I'd walk forever back again to look into your eyes and hold you when you cry. It's not easy to say goodbye. I remember all those great times we had, so many memories, some good, some bad. Yes, and through it all, those memories will last forever. There's peace in where you are, maybe all I need to know. And if I listen to my heart, I'll hear your laughter once more. And so I have to say, I'm just glad you came my way. It's not easy to say goodbye.
Good afternoon. Certainly on behalf of Nancy's family, we want to welcome everyone, and we thank you so much for being here to join the family to honor and celebrate Nancy's life. You know, your presence truly shows the impact that she's left on so many hearts here today, and we want to give you an opportunity in just a few moments to share those memories. So I encourage you to think of a memory, a story, or how Nancy impacted your life, and we're going to give you that opportunity to share. But today is just a beautiful celebration. My name is Angelo Romero. I'm with the funeral home, and I've been asked to lead this beautiful service, so I thank the family for allowing me to do that at this time. And as we start out our service, we're going to ask that Doug come and share the eulogy with us as we start our service this morning, this afternoon.
Again, I'd like to thank you all for showing up and sending my mom into her next travel leg of her life, of her hopefully her final leg of her life. But thank you all for coming. Also, I'd like to mention out there on the table, my mom's dreaded, whatever you want to call it, thing she loved the most was dolphins. And there's a whole table of dolphins out there, and I'd like each and every one of you to get a dolphin or something out there to remind you of her. And Nancy L. Stutz, Mom, Graham, Gigi, and to a lot of you, Nancy with the purple hair. The other day I was cleaning out my wallet, and way in the back underneath a few pictures was this big old stack of IOUs. Some of these were 30 years overdue. Funny thing is, all of these IOUs were owed to just one person. And I think right now might be a good time for an accounting. Mom, are you listening? Mom, I owe you for so many things. A lot of services, like night watchman, laying awake at night, listening for coughs and cries, and creaking of the floorboards when I came in too late. You had the eye of an eagle and the roar of a lion, but you always had the heart as big as a house. Mom, I owe you for the services as a short order cook, a chef, a baker, for making sirloin out of hamburger, turkey out of tuna fish, and two big old strapping boys out of leftovers. I owe you for the cleaning services, for the daily scrubbing of the face, ears, all that work done by hand. And for washing and ironing, no laundry could ever keep up with. I owe you for drying the tears of the first case of puppy love. And ironing out the heartaches of growing up. Service of medical attention for nursing me through measles, mumps, bruises, bumps, and splinters, and sprains. Medical advice. Don't cross your eyes, they may stay that way. Don't scratch it, it won't get well. But the most important advice always to be gotten was change your underwear in case you're in an accident, boy. Entertainment, keeping the household going through some pretty rough times. For wonderful productions at Christmas, 4th of July, and birthdays. Making make-believe come true on a very limited budget. I owe you for the construction work, building confidence, hopes, and dreams. For cementing the family together so it could stand the worst kind of shocks and blows, and creating a foundation to build a life on. Carrying charges. You carried me on your books interest-free. At the top of my list, Mom, I owe you for treating the love of my life for over 50 years like your very own flesh and blood. I could go on the rest of the day about good things that my mom did or didn't do. There's so much of this payment is long overdue. She managed it all by doing without things she needed herself. My IOUs add up to way more than I could ever pay back. But the nicest thing about all this, she could mark the bill paid in full with a kiss and 4 small words. Mom, I love you. In closing, this was all from my perspective, Mom. Just as kind of to everyone she came in contact with, she was that way. Such a beautiful lady, inside and out. Mom, I miss you back.
Well said.
I can't stand it. Seems like my heart is breaking in two. It says no, but my soul demands it. Everything I do reminds me of you. I miss you so much in this house full of shadows, where the rain keeps pouring down my window too. When will the pain recede to the darkness from whence it has come? And I'm feeling so good. Ain't going down no more to the well. Sometimes it feels like I'm going to hell. Sometimes I'm knocking on your front door, but I don't have nothing to sell no more. Seems like the Spirit pushing me onward. On the sea, where I drifted went wrong. Just got to guess where my soul found comfort. so much. Well, I'm singing my song. Ain't going down, no more to go well. But sometimes it seems I'm going to hell. You'll find me knocking on your front door. But I don't have nothing to sell no more. Feel like my spirit pushing me onward. Though I'm able to see where I tripped when I went home. Just have to guess, but my soul won't get comfort. I miss you so much when I'm singing my song. I miss you so much, I can't stand it. Seems like my heart is breaking in two. The head says go, but my soul demands it. And everything I do reminds me of you. Everything I do reminds me of you. Everything I do reminds me of you.
Thank you, Doug, for that beautiful eulogy. You know, I myself come from a family of all boys, and you're right, there's nothing like mama's love. With the support of a mama, you can conquer the world. You know, I know that is. Well, I know that each and every one of you got some great memories of Nancy, and we certainly want to give you that opportunity. You're welcome to come to the platform if you're comfortable. If you're not, you're more than welcome to just stand where you're at. But we'd love to hear some of those memories shared at this time, and we want to bless the family with your memories. I know we're hairdressers here, and I know there's a lot of people here, and we want to hear some of them great stories. So at this time, feel free if anyone would like to come, please share those memories with us at this time.
That's a hard one to follow. And Nancy was the greatest mother-in-law in the world to me. I was 15 years old when I met her, and she was 36. So she welcomed me right into the family and made me feel like a daughter immediately. What I'll always be most grateful for is that she gave me the wonderful man who is my husband and the father of my children and the oompa to my grandchildren. Without that, my life would be so different. Every time I got thinking about what I want to say about Nancy, I always thought about the Red Hat Society poem of "When I am old, I shall grow purple." But that's where it stops. Because the next line it says with a red hat, and we know she wouldn't put a hat in that hair. and gloves that don't go. And we know she dressed to the T's and she accessorized and she always looked so classy. So we know that that's about as far as it goes. The end of that poem says, "I'll make up for the sobriety of my youth." Again, she was 36 when I met her, I didn't know her in her real youth, but I heard stories. She had nothing to make up for her. Honestly, after the first line, that's as far as that one goes. I can't think of her, any word that describes her more than loving and generous. She was generous to a fault. She supported her family in ways, each one of us individually, but every single one of us in one way or another, both with her kindness and with her assets. I mean, I got to travel the world and go places I'd have never been able to go without her. And we had such a wonderfully, wonderfully good time. She always made life so much fun for me. When, after her parents died, we tried doing we'll go to Doug's family one holiday and my family the next holiday. And one time my mom said, I'm not going to enjoy this day at all, knowing that Nancy's sitting home alone. So Mom, from that day forward, Nancy was part of our family and came to every single holiday, and my mom included her in every single one. So every holiday, every big thing, I will always miss Nancy because she was there for everything for us. And the only difference was Christmas, and she did Christmas Eve herself because that was her holiday. She loved Christmas Eve, and she spoiled each and every one of us. And we'll never have the same seafood biscuit again. That was one of our big memories of Nancy. Here. So, anyway, I can't tell you how much I'm going to miss her in the 50-some years, and I'm giving my age away, that we've known each other. I don't think we ever had a harsh word. The only thing I can ever think of was when Justin was born, and Nancy didn't think he should suck his thumb, and my mom didn't think he should have a pacifier. So I had to ask him to go home until I could figure it out. Other than that, I really don't think that we've ever had a harsh word between us. And I'm just really, really going to miss her. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nancy's grandson, Justin. Whenever I think of the words stability and consistency, I think about the second hand on a grandfather clock. I think about the tides coming and going. I think about the sun setting behind the Rocky Mountains, and I think about Nancy Stutz. The love and support that she gave to her family really led to an inspired life, and one that's worth remembering and celebrating. As I was coming up with memories about Gigi's life, it occurred to me that most of us probably had the exact same memories. Seafood biscuit Christmas, weekly hair appointments, purple everything. You always got your first happy birthday wish from her about 12:07 a.m. Talking with her hands and fingers. See my screen? Dolphin decorations. Playing a card game with her and either winning so badly you felt guilty for challenging her in the first place, or she beat you down so bad you wish you hadn't thrown down the gauntlet. More purple things. Singing Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Lawrence Welk, and gigantic dangly earrings. While those memories put a smile on my face, it reminded me about her unwavering love and commitment to her family. She was a rock that we could all count on to celebrate our biggest accomplishments, and support us during our most difficult times. I remember often getting frustrated because I would call her to check in on her and see how she was doing, and she would dominate the conversation and ask me about my life and beg for details about Maureen and Sammy and ask about job and how much she was looking forward to our next visit. And then 45 minutes later, you'd hang up and realize that she hadn't said a word about her own life. She just asked you about yours. I was reminded of a quote, no one's actually dead until the ripples they've caused in the world have died away. There's probably not a person in this room that didn't benefit from knowing her and felt the tidal wave of impacts that Nancy loved passing along to everybody. From going with friends and family to see various parts of the world, to trying out new restaurants as part of a weekly adventure at Primrose, to watching her coach and support the young ladies at ADCO. And she always did best to make sure that her ripples that she created were meaningful, personal, and significant. For 4 generations of this family, she gave us everything. An ear to listen to your problems, as long as you said it loud enough and repeated yourself. She always gave her opinion and advice on how to handle situations, and she was always a shoulder to cry on when things didn't quite go with the plan. Most people in this room have benefited from her overwhelming generosity. My first 3 cars were all purchased from ADCO, probably under a special grandson discount. A majority of my college education was paid for by her. She gave me a job while I was trying to get my career set up. She filled my house with swords. All of these would just be a tip of an iceberg. Way too many things to list here today. While any one of these gifts on their own would be something that was life-changing, and her leg ups and support that she gave people is her legacy. They were critical in making us the people that we are today. I would ask all of you at some point today, think back to one of the times where she put a tidal wave in your life and really reflect on it and appreciate and express the gratitude in your heart that she's done for you. Mom and Dad, I want to specifically thank the 2 of you. You guys supported her more than anyone. If she needed her car fixed, if she needed a cell phone, if she needed her hand held at a doctor's appointment, you guys were always there for her all the time. And so you definitely made her life happier and brighter. So thank you for everything that you've done for her. I think we can all take a page from her book. I hope you can pass something important along to someone important to you in your life. Whether it's just paying a debt forward, offering to help someone in need, or just being a listening ear to someone that has something heavy on their mind. Let's keep Graham's memory alive by continuing to ripple the positive actions back into what Graham would call a small world after all. Thank you, Graham, for your never-ending love and a lifetime of beautiful memories. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stand up,
Ditto. No, they have said everything that I have been wanting to say. So it was a wholehearted ditto. It really was. All the generosity, all the stories, I could go on forever. My list is never ending. When she was generous with her assets, as you guys were saying, it wasn't that she was buying us a trip, she was buying us experiences. When she saw that we needed help with money, she gave us jobs. When she was in everything that she offered, she was teaching a man to fish, if that makes any sense. But that's what I always appreciated. It wasn't just a here, see you later. It very much so was something that you learned from. So a lot of the same experiences as my brother said, but personal to me was I can personally thank her for my family. When I was a single mom struggling to find time to be able to do anything, she offered up Gigi nights. Every Wednesday night she would watch my rambunctious toddler for a long time so that I would just have time to get my oil changed, time to do something. Well, that gave me the okay to say yes to a guy who asked me out on a date. And we've been married 14 years now. And so I cannot thank her enough for giving me that opportunity at a time when I probably couldn't have done that. But later on, you'll see a photo show and interesting fact that it kept coming to me, so I didn't want to keep going over memories that many of us have already shared and have. But I was putting together a playlist of songs that were making me think of her while I knew she was in the hospital, and I was very upset that I couldn't be there, playing all the Frank Sinatras, all the songs that he had mentioned. And so I hit play, trying to figure out my playlist on Frank Sinatra's My Way. And as it ended, my phone rang and Mom called and said that Gigi had passed away just a few minutes ago. She chose her song to me, and it gave me goosebumps, and it was a crazy connection. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys because I thought it was pretty amazing. But Gigi, I will miss you. I love you. And she did it her way.
One thing Gigi and I'm Sammy. One thing Gigi and I could always relate on is books, and I think my favorite memory of all time is that Nana and Opa, Mom and Dad and I, and Gigi went to dinner at a Chinese restaurant, just catching up, and we sat next to each other and we just talked about books for like 10 minutes straight, and what our favorite genres, what our favorite books, and unfortunately, I don't remember most of her answers, but it was the fact that she cared enough to talk about it. And I think towards the end, when she was starting to lose her hearing, she would ask you all the time how you were. She wants to hear about your life. Most of the time, she couldn't even hear your answers, but she wanted you to know that she cared enough to ask, and she wanted you to know that she cared for you always, and you could always tell her anything you ever wanted. And I think I speak for Alicia when I say that there was never unequal treatment. She was loved Alicia and I equally as much as she could, and showed us and gave us everything. And she was always very generous and very fair, and I think the most recent example is she wanted to give Alicia a crock pot, so she said, well, I have to give Sammy a crock pot. She always had to be even, and she was always just equally generous and helped raise Alicia and I to become the women we are. And another memory is I remember we had this family hangout, and we had all gone to bed super late, midnight or something. Surely she must be beat, she must be going to bed, and I came up the next morning and she had started a new book of Nana's, and the bookmark in her book was like halfway through. She had easily read like 200 pages in the middle of the night, and I had gone to bed at midnight and she hadn't even started a book. And so I just always thought that was amazing how much she loved to read and learn more about the world and learn more about other people, and so I think she liked learning more about us. And I think that strengthened her compassion also, was reading all these stories about other people and helped her learn more about us. And we will miss her and we will love her. And I wanted to thank her for her generosity, the fact that she cared always.
Anyone else?
All right. My story is not heartfelt, and it is not something that will make you cry, but it is very realistic. So I'm Amanda. Gigi, not to make you cry. Gigi and Alicia lived with me and my kids for a little while. Oh, my father, sorry. So periodically, about once a month, Nancy would come by and pick up Jamie and Alicia, take them down to Pueblo. They'd all hang out together. Now, oftentimes while they were gone, my kids were also with their dad. Nancy was concerned that I would be alone. And she would ask me, Amanda, what in the world are you going to do while we're gone? And I would tell her, I'm going to strip naked and sit on the couch all by myself in the living room. Rather than laugh at it, rather than do anything, all she could say to me was, no, Mommy, the couch is right. Don't sit on the couch. you and Alicia, that is exactly what I tell her. I'm going to strip naked, I'm going to sound the couch. And she was always horrified. I would do something terrible to her. It's the funniest lady I ever met. And, over the last week or so, I've been telling everybody, I'll be off on Friday. And when I describe Nancy, all I can do is describe her. She's exactly what I want to grow up to be. She was just so fun. And I'll miss her.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Heidi. I met Nancy at Primrose. I was in the beauty shop first with Stella, and that's how I met her. And then I started working at the activity department. I drove the bus, and she was on the bus every time we went somewhere. She was always ready. She just said, let me just get my shoes and I'll be ready, you know. We went on trips together. We went through Primrose. We went to San Francisco and also to Disney World in Florida. And we had a grand time. We also went to Durango to see some friends that used to have their mother at Primrose. And we decided Jane was one of her really close friends. We did our birthdays together every year, and for some reason this year, we didn't get around to doing it. Mine was first, then Nancy's, and then for a long time nothing, then it was Jane's, would have been Jane's, or would be Jane's in October. And I said, you know what, why don't we just go out to dinner and we'll celebrate all three of them together. And we did. Right after Nancy's birthday, we finally got together. We had a friend from Arizona come, and she said she was going to be in, it was Barbara, who used to work for Primrose, and she was real close to us too. And we had lunch at Primrose, all of us, because Jane had, I think it was you that just came out of the hospital, right? They just all the time, you know, if one went in the hospital, came home, got better, and the other went in the hospital, came home, got better. It just switched off. And I told them once, I said, you have to do the same thing the other person does. Why are you going back to? So anyway, she came and we had a nice lunch together, and I told her, I think it's very important. When you are in Colorado, you need to come by. We need to get together, and I'm so grateful we did that. And every year we went and saw Christmas lights. I took the ladies a tour of Pueblo, and we had one favorite place at El Camino. The guy had his house all decorated with music and everything, and all the little figurines were dancing to the music. It was really great. We did that every single year, and so we had always had a really good time, and I'm just really, really going to miss her a lot. It just doesn't seem right that she's gone. So anyway, that's all I want to say.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I think that if I had one word to describe Nancy, it would be amazing. If you are lucky in your lifetime to have someone like Nancy come into it and validate who you are all the time, and when you try so hard to give back to her, have you ever tried to give anything back to Nancy? She was one of the best things that ever happened to me, and I have to say, by knowing her, I'm a much, much better person. But I feel like I know all of you. I went to every Christmas party, every Thanksgiving party, every birthday you ever had. I knew what you ate, what you ate. She loved, as you know, purple. She loved dolphins. She loved jelly bellies. But she loved nothing more than her family. If you were happy, she was happy. If you were struggling, she was struggling. And I knew that no matter what was going on, if she could fix it, she would fix it. Now, Nancy could speak volumes without ever opening her mouth. There would be times in the salon that I had to say, Nancy. And she'd say, I didn't say anything. And I said, you didn't have to, it was all. She was an unusual, special, wonderful, wonderful human being. Did she have her faults? I'm sure. Was she perfect? To me, she was perfect. She was my champion. And try to tell Nancy when she decides that you tell her, I really screwed up that time. And she goes, oh no, you didn't. And I say, no, Nancy, I was wrong. I really messed up. No, I don't tell her. You're never wrong. For all of us, I think this world is much sadder. Yeah. But to keep her alive, think of her every day, talk to her because she hears you, and know that you were very, very much loved.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else? Well, as we mentioned, we definitely want to keep those memories alive, and certainly that's how our legacy will always live on. We encourage you to continue to share those memories. At this time, the family's picked another song, and we'd love to share that with you at this time.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying how do you do? They're really saying I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They're like much more than I never knew. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
At this time, the family's put together a beautiful video tribute, and we're going to direct everybody's attention this way.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend,
I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. Yes, it was my way.
Well, this afternoon, as we get ready to close our service, you know, it says in the Bible that it's truly better to give than to receive. And hearing all those who shared today, share all the stories, we can truly agree that Nancy was a very blessed woman. For all the love, all that she's given, she's impacted so many hearts. And today, as we leave this chapel, I encourage you to pick up her baton. I encourage you to continue to share her love, her generosity. Shake a hand, give somebody a hug, smile at somebody, make their day. And that's how her legacy will always live on. So today we want to thank you all for being here today, to give the family your love, your support, those who sent flowers, the cards, the prayers. It means a lot to the family to see you all here today. In closing, we do have one final song, and it's mostly family here, so we're going to encourage everyone just to come, surround the memorial table, reminisce, share a story, and that'll conclude our service here today. As I close, on behalf of myself, my family, and our staff, to you as an entire family, thank you. It's been a great honor to hold your trust. May God bless you too. Thank you. At this time, please feel free to come as we have our final song. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.